Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Neo. Today we have a new set happening on this return client. Her previous set was that really beautiful dreamy kind of sunset design with the encapsulated moons and stars. I will definitely link that in the cards. Check that out. Love that one. But we are starting fresh. So I started off with spraying her down with some alcohol and pushing back her skin so that we can expose the dead cuticle that's sitting on her nail plate. So I'm going in with this diamond skiver bit. It's a really cute kind of purpley tungsten colored one. I believe this is from a cart on Amazon, or I'm not really sure where, but I will link it down below for you. And I am just using it to kind of get up under that eponychium area and scrape off any dead skin. Diamond bits are great for the nail plate. You can totally use them to kind of do your prep work instead of like sanding bands or even a nail file. It's kind of that same texture, but I enjoy using a diamond skiver bit specifically because it is a little pointy and I can kind of get it in those hard to reach areas. I'm not spending too much time doing this. Normally if it's a little bit tougher, I'll go back and forth. I'll flip my e-file into the reverse direction, but in this case it wasn't too much growth. Some of her nails are like this one. There's a crack in her pointer finger, which is why we soaked off completely just so I can see what the damage was. From her hurting her finger, it's not open or exposed, so it is safe to work on. And because she expressed to me that acrylics normally don't stay very well on her nails, we are going to do something a little bit different in terms of the prep work so that we can see if it works for her. I have a few clients who, for some reason, on certain fingers, acrylic just doesn't want to stay. Like I have a client who I do an Apres Gel X tip on one finger and then acrylic on the rest, and everything is totally perfect. I'll definitely link that video for you, just so you can see what that looks like. But in this case, we're going to do prep a little bit differently. Instead of using my sanding band, I'm actually going in with this it's a diamond abrasion, but it's not a skiver bit. It's more of kind of like a round top kind of cylinder shape. I'm not really sure what this specific shape or bit is called, but you can see it's rounded off at the top and it has that diamond abrasion all around. I'm mainly using this on her skin, actually, not even on the nail plate. Her skin was very, very dry, and I did give her scolding of like, girl, don't you moisturize? Come on, you got to use your cuticle oil before you go to bed, like just letting her know. I just think that it also is important to kind of prep the skin, because you can have gorgeous nails, but like the skin around it is really dry and like flaky. I mean, it doesn't look as nice, right? We want our clients to leave and feel their most beautiful. So I'm just taking my time. The speed is a little bit higher than about 3,000 or 4,000. I'd say maybe about 6,000 or 7,000 RPM. And I'm using it very lightly. I don't know what we're talking about, but using it very lightly on that skin area and flipping back and forth if necessary to kind of remove any dead skin that's kind of sitting around the fingernail. Once done with that, we're just going to go in with some new tips. So these are some basic kind of clear, I say glass all the time, but they're a clear nail tip. I would say that they're like coffin. They have a slight curve to them. So if you're into curved tips, these definitely would work for you. I don't really care for a curved tip, but I only use these tips if I know the client is not getting a particularly long set. This is not going to be a long set. It's kind of like a short to medium set. So I didn't feel like wasting my really fancy tips on this because I would, you know, end up cutting it off. But these are some tips from Amazon. I'm just using a little bit of glue to kind of just extend her nail length a little bit for us, making sure to fit them sidewall to sidewall and to make sure that they are straight. That's a big thing that I'm always talking about, making sure that these tips sit straight, looking down the length of the entire finger, not just looking at the fingertip. Everybody's fingers are slightly crooked in one direction or another. It's just best to envision a straight line down the knuckles to make sure that you end up with a straight tip application, not following the actual fingers. So when working on clients, I always clip one hand down to the length that they kind of say that they want. And I always clip a little bit longer than they say that they do, because in the filing and in the final design, the nails usually end up a little bit shorter than when you start. I let them kind of move their hands around, touch their phone. I tell them to like put their hand in their bag to kind of see if that, you know, length is good. And once I get the okay from them, then I use that right hand to then measure. And as you can see, match up the fingers so that they are as close as possible. And I just like to use my straight edge clipper to do that. If the nail is particularly long and I can't get my clipper through the entire thing, I'll use a nail trimmer, like a, you know, that little scissor looking thing. But I prefer to use my straight edge clipper like this. And I just try to line up cuticle to cuticle and then clip the tips as necessary. Just going in with this 80 grit hand file. It's not an 80, that's a lie. This is like a 120 grit, definitely not an 80 grit. But I'm just blending the sidewalls to make sure that they fit perfectly and just straightening the tips of these nails very, very lightly. I don't really do this often. I find I do a lot of my hand filing last towards the end of my service, but I just want to make sure that these tips fit perfectly in case they were extended a little bit off the edge. And if you're looking at my nails, they are significantly shorter than they were as of recent. I have two different sets. I think I did film the pink design. It's a really cool glow-in-the-dark marble using Zulay acrylics. On my right hand, I have some short natural square Apres gel tips, which is a simple polish design. I had to cut my nails down because I wanted to braid my hair. And as long as those other nails were, there was no way that I was going to be able to do that. So that's what's happening on my hands. If you want to see those videos, definitely let me know down below, and then I'll figure out how to post those videos. But in the meantime, we are using that same diamond bit to kind of blend the tip and buff the surface of the nail. Because it is a diamond abrasion, you can use it on the natural nail surface. So I have my e-file fairly slow, and I'm lightly just scratching or etching that nail plate to kind of give you a light texture so that whatever enhancement you put on top of that will have something to stick to. If it's super smooth and shiny, the skin naturally produces oil. Same for the nails. You just want to kind of buff that away so that your extension has something really, really nice to stick to. All right, so I mentioned it earlier in the video that this client is struggling with acrylic sticking to her hands. Not gonna lie, she had been going to shops that have been using MMA on her. When she first came and I did a soak off on her, it was definitely MMA. I've explained it to her, and she's aware that, her nails are a little bit compromised at the moment, but in an effort to kind of help her, I decided to give her a base of gel. So I find that clients, when acrylic doesn't, stick very well to their nails, I just try some gel. I'm using the Apres gel system, and it's basically hard gel in a bottle. So I started off with that dehydrator. The second clip was me adding that gel primer that comes with the Apres set, and now I'm going in with their builder in a bottle. This is that Gel-X hard gel that comes in this kind of paintbrush application bottle. It's super, super helpful. Normally when you're doing a Gel-X tip, you will give yourself a light coating and then apply the tip with more product in the actual tip. I'm not going to be doing that for her. As you saw, we applied tips normally. I am just basically painting this gel on her natural nail and down the length of the tip. And this is going to be basically the base holding onto her natural nail. I will be building up on top of this with acrylic, which is totally fine. But I just figured giving her a gel base would allow the enhancement to stick really, really well to her natural nails, give her something hard to hold on to while her nails kind of, heal themselves. And then we could definitely see if this doesn't work, then I can try a different method. Not everything is going to work for every client. Everyone's body dynamic is different. Some clients do really well with acrylic. Some clients do really well with hard gel. Some do really well with like a poly gel. Just trying out different things to kind of help your clients get get what they want. So I'm just taking my time applying that gel very, very carefully. I don't want it to touch the skin. And I did prep her by saying that, gel does give off heat. It's an exothermic reaction. So if you feel heat in the light, not to be alarmed, you can take your hand in and out. But I had her cure for 60 seconds. And then basically she has a nice coat of hard gel on her natural nails. To build on top of that, I'm actually going to go in and start my acrylic design. So that was basically kind of like my clear acrylic base that I like to place on nails. We're going to be doing some white and clear kind of glass marble nails for her. It wasn't completely the design that I had planned. I did have something else planned, and she was just kind of like, oh, I'm not really feeling that. So I had to kind of modify in the moment. That's something that you have to do as a nail tech. You know, sometimes I love when clients kind of come in and don't say anything and they just let me, you know, play around. But in the event that a client's like, yeah, I'm not really feeling that design, you kind of got to think on your feet. So we did modify the design to be this really cool kind of glass effect white and clear marble with gold foil, and it totally worked out fine. So I'm starting off with Baby Powder by iGel Beauty. It's my favorite, I think, white acrylic, just a solid stark white that works really, really well. It's not super patchy or it doesn't dry super fast. I have a lot of other whites that are just really difficult to work with. Either they're really runny or they set immediately. I don't know, whatever. But I love this Baby Powder acrylic by iGel Beauty. And I'm using Young Nails Core Clear as my clear to kind of swirl that marble around. And we've just got some gold foil pieces on my napkin down below. And I'm just taking my time to kind of build up that foil area. I like for the foil to have chunkier pieces and really, really tiny pieces. So when shredding up my foil, I just throw everything on the table and just pick up pieces as necessary. I am also going to be incorporating a really cool kind of glitter called Strip Club. This is from the Red Acrylics. It's a blue kind of holographic glitter in a clear base, but it's very, very, very sheer glitter. It almost looks like nothing unless you twist your fingers in like the certain light. You get this really cool hint of like a blue sparkle. Super, super cute, and I wanted to incorporate it into the set. So I'm going to be randomly like smushing that onto the marble and the foil, but basically I want the tip of the nail to be completely clear. I'm using her natural nail color as the base of the nail, and then adding all of that fun stuff towards the middle and a diagonal. So nothing crazy. I'm gonna be doing this on every single finger except for her middle finger. So again, to build up this marble, I'm going in with super wet beads. That's a bead of clear, a bead of the white, and we're just going to be swirling it back and forth really, really loosely. I'm not even really trying to like come up with a specific pattern. I just want hints of the white, but I don't want it to be stark. You see me swirling clear back on top of it and just making sure that the tip of the nail is completely clear. I don't want to cover too far down the tip, and I'm just using the colors of the white and the clear to kind of cover up her free edge. We don't want to see that. Once happy, I'm going to take some pieces of that Strip Club color and just kind of mash it on in certain areas so we get that hint of sparkle, and then add my gold foil as necessary. Okay, so for the middle finger, it's a little bit different. I will be doing a 2-color ombre. So this is the strip cup color that I was talking about. As you can see, it's super, super clear, but you get a tiny, tiny hint of blue sparkle. It's a really, really cool color. I've used it in a previous set, in a Christmas set, actually worked really, really pretty. And it just has that nice blue shimmery color that was like great for Christmas. So we're gonna be doing it's basically gonna give a glass effect on this tip because it is a clear base of acrylic. I'm gonna ombre a nice nude color down over it. So we have like a nude to clear with just a touch of sparkle on the edge of this nail, nothing crazy. And the color that I'm going to be ombreing with is Bearless by Sugar and Cream. It's like a super pretty kind of soft nail plate nude kind of color that I thought worked really well to kind of match hers. In hindsight, I should have added this color to the back of all of the nails so that they were like completely the same, but it totally worked out fine because it does match really, really well. And I place it right at the cuticle and I just ombre it down to sheer out right at her free edge. I'm just adding a little bit more for coverage because we don't want to see that free edge. We want to kind of see it fade into that nice blue kind of shimmery glitter. On the rest of the fingers, we're just going to do that white marble with the gold foil. Now it is time to clear cap. I'm just using the same Young Nails Core Clear to clear cap all of her nails. And because these nails are not particularly long, they're like a medium length, I am going to be doing my best to just 2 bead these nails. One medium-sized bead, excuse me, right at her free edge, patting it down and building up for structure. Always patting my sidewalls and free edge. As you can see, I tap my brush on my napkin to kind of dry it out. I think that that helps me. It helps the acrylic kind of polymerize, so it hardens, so it's not running all over the place, and I can definitely mold it. As you see here, I'm patting the sidewalls constantly, and that's how I kind of maintain that shape of whatever the tip is without having to like file, you know, too much. And then I'm going to go in with my cuticle bead and try to keep it as round as possible. I don't know if that makes sense, but keeping it right at the cuticle area and then blending it over. And I feel, there you go, blending it down. And especially for this length, you do not need uber bulky nails. We just need the structure to be adequate for the length. We want to encapsulate all of those pieces, and then this nail is pretty much done. I'm going to try and just do that for all of the nails, especially because they're not really long, as we can see, and we just want to make sure that we encapsulate that beautiful marble and gold foil.
Now, I have a few nails that I want to
And just look at how crisp the edge of this thumb is. It's really, really nice and sharp. It looks like I filed it already, and I totally didn't. That's basically what you want. Well, that's what I want. I don't know about you, but when I'm doing nails, I want to do as least work as possible. So if my acrylic application is really good, then I have less to do in terms of hand filing and e-filing. It just makes your life easier. And like, hand filing is really stressful on the body. I've only been doing nails about 1.5 years now, and I can already feel like my shoulders hurt, my fingers, my wrist hurts a little bit. I can only imagine doing this for like 30 something years of like hand filing like crazy. So like, if you know, work smarter, then you don't have to work harder. Just make sure that your acrylic application is really, really nice and neat so that you don't have to do too much afterwards. Now I'm going in with a medium carbide bit. This is a non-safety, and I have my e-file at a medium to high speed. We're just going to be smoothing out the surface of these nails, cleaning up the cuticle and sidewall area, and just making sure that the nails have a really nice touch and appearance to them. Alrighty, so I'm going in with my hand file, and a little bit you're gonna be able to see that little blue sparkle in there. It's such a subtle hint, but it's just really, really cute. I love that strip club color. I need to use it more. There is a set that I'm thinking of doing, like a blue kind of purpley set with that color. Maybe I'll just stir that in there because definitely loving it. But what I'm doing with this hand file is trying to maintain that nice shape. So we're going for a tapered square shape on these medium length nails, and as you can see, I don't have to do very much to kind of maintain that shape. Clean up my sides, make sure that the free edge is nice and sharp, and then we move on. That's all I'm doing here. So I did have the client go wash her hands, but I like to spray them down and clean with my manicure brush afterwards anyway. Nothing crazy, just making sure to get rid of any dust, debris, or oils that might be on the surface of the nail, because when I go in with my gel top coat, I don't want any interruptions with that adhesion. I want a nice, smooth application. So we thought that this set was going to be done. Here I am adding Glossy Top Coat. This is Gloss It from Not Polish. I love this. And I'm adding it to the top and bottoms of each nail because we we are going for that glass effect. We want to be able to see completely through. We want it to be super clear. So just making sure to add it to the top and bottoms of each of the nails. And then I'm going to have her cure for 60 seconds. However, this client was like, hey, can we add some bling to this middle finger? So I thought the set was done, but it's not. I'm going in very, very lightly with my hand file, and I just scuffed up that top coat just because it's a really smooth top coat. And I went in and built a small rhinestone pattern. That's something that I prefer to do before just going in with the client, just because it gives me peace of mind. I get very nervous with bling work if I don't pre-plan my bling work. So I always just take like 2 or 3 minutes to kind of be, and then it's great because then I can show the client what I plan on doing as well. They can have some input or some say in that as well. So I went in with some bling gel. That was the Two Guys No Wipe Top Coat Bling Gel, and then I added some top coat to it anyway. So we have 2 layers of bling, and we're just building up this really cool gold and crystal AB rhinestone pattern. I thought it would be really cool to incorporate gold in it because of the gold foil, and we get the sparkle that's similar to the blue sparkle that we added from the Strip Cup color by the Red Acrylics. I'm taking my time. The beautiful thing about bling gel is that you have all the time in the world. It is not going to set until you cure, and you can kind of move items around if necessary. Even at this point, like if your client's like, I'm not sure I like it, you can totally just take an alcohol wipe and just wipe it away and all will be well. But she loved it. Once happy with it, I'm going to clean my sidewalls and then cure for 60 seconds, and then the set is done. Boom, boom, boom. Here is the shot of these nails. Super pretty. They remind me of like Hercules. I don't know, like the muses. Just really, really pretty. Look at this set. You're definitely gonna be able to see that blue sparkle in the nail. Super subtle. Like if you like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.